Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am here with a bumped up request from Brad. Thank you very much, Brad. It is for Red Sovine, and the song is Teddy Bear 1976. I have not done any reactions to Red Sovine. I don't really know him. If I've ever heard anything of his, I didn't connect names. It might have been when I was really young or something because my parents were into some country and I wasn't. But anyway, I did do Tom Waits doing Big Joe and Phantom 309, which was a Red Sovine cover, and now this is Red Sovine himself doing Teddy Bear. If you want to know how to bump up your request and get it in a few days rather than many, many months, check in the description. Use one of the donation methods. Let me know what you want me to react to, of course, and if you have a shout out name you prefer, let me know that too, and you will get your reaction much, much quicker than on the regular list. Also in the description, a link to the artist channel, so you can go there and subscribe and like and comment and support the artist. And also there's other links to merchandise store and my books, etc. So you can search around if you want. If not, that's fine too. Don't forget to subscribe here if you already have. Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who shared videos, liked videos, commented. I read everything you send in and I answer as many as I can. So know that it is well appreciated. And it's a fantastic community here. People like Brad, for example. All right, let's have a listen to Red Sovine, Teddy Bear.
When the cowboy sings songs.
I was on the outskirts of a little southern town, trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on Channel 19 when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear." Well, I keyed the mic and I said, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end?" I told him my handle, and then he began. Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off the air. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk, 'cause that's about all I can do. I'm crippled and can't walk. Well, I came back and told him to fire up that mic, that I'd talk to him as long as he liked. "This was my dad's radio," the little boy said. "But I guess it's mine and Mom's now, 'cause my daddy's dead. Dad had a wreck about a month ago. He was trying to get home in the blinding snow. Mom has to work now to make ends meet, and I'm not much help with my two crippled feet. She says not to worry, that everything will be all right. But I hear her crying sometimes late at night. But you know, there's one thing I want more than anything else to see. Oh, I know you guys are too busy to bother with me. But you see, my dad used to take me for rides when he was home. But I guess it's all over now, since my daddy's gone. Not one breaker came on the old CB as that little cripple boy talked with me. And I tried hard to swallow a lump that just wouldn't stay down as I thought about my boy back in Greenville town. Dad was going to take Mom and me with him later on this year. Well, I remember him saying, "This old truck will be yours someday, Teddy Bear." But I know I'll never get to ride another 18-wheeler again. But this old base will keep me in touch with all my trucker friends. Teddy Bear gonna back on out now and leave you alone, 'cause it's about time for Mom to come home. But you give me a shout when you're passing through, and I'll sure be happy to come back to you. Well, I came back and I said, "Before you go, 1010, what's your home 20, little CB friend?" Well, he gave me his address, and I didn't once hesitate, 'cause this hot load of freight is just gonna have to wait. Well, I turned that truck around on a dime and headed straight for Jackson Street, 229. And as I rounded the corner, oh, I got one heck of a shock. 18-wheelers were lined up for 3 city blocks. Well, I guess every driver for miles around had caught Teddy Bear's car, and that little crippled boy was having a ball. 'Cause as fast as one driver would carry him in, another would carry him back to his truck and take off again. Well, you better believe I took my turn at riding Teddy Bear, and I carried him back in and put him down in his chair. And buddy, if I never live to see happiness again, I want you to know I saw it that day in the face of that little man. We took up a collection for him before his mom got home, and each driver said goodbye, and then they were all gone. He shook my hand with a mile-long grin and said, "So long, trucker. I'll catch you again." Well, I hit that interstate with tears in my eyes, and I turned on the radio, and I got another surprise. Breaker 19 came a voice on the air. Just one word of thanks from Mama Teddy Bear. We wish each and every one a special prayer for you, 'cause you just made my little boy's dream come true. I'll sign off now before I start to cry. And may God ride with you. 10-4. And goodbye.
Right, let me just back up a bit here. Wow. Yeah, very good voice for storytelling. Um, yeah, I think he said cowboy, so he's a country guy, country singer guy, I guess. Um, which isn't really my thing, but yeah, really good storyteller, good story, good tearjerker. Um, and we've heard lots of you know, stories about people, uh, whether they're children or otherwise, but often it is a child that has some terminal illness or some other issue, serious issue, and people come, fire trucks come out for their birthday or some, you know, different groups, whatever they're uh, passionate about, that group of people. That could be a sports player. I've seen lots of instances where they've either the whole team is gone or they've signed something for the child, or they visit them in the hospital, or a single member. Um, and they're always very, very touching stories. I don't know. I expect this is a made-up story, but but there's probably stories along the way where truckers have done the same thing, because I know that they themselves get lonely out on the road. So uh, I know that I have heard stories of them helping people out. So I don't know whether there's a story exactly like that or not. But it's a good story, and it's a kind of tugs at your heartstrings. It may be a little too melodramatic for me, I think, especially with that country-ish music in behind. But I can see how it would have a real impact back in the day. And even today, the story itself, certainly, you think you don't want anyone to be crippled or suffer or be lonely, and especially a child, that has us, for most people anyway, that it tugs at your heart a little bit more when it's a young one. So yeah, really good voice. I like the tone of his voice for this storytelling here. Uh, was there something else? I didn't. I don't even think I stopped it throughout. I think I just let it run all the way through because I didn't want to interrupt the sort of flow of the story. And you could kind of guess where it was going. Of course, back in '76, maybe you wouldn't have guessed as well. But now we've seen a lot of movies, shows, stories, songs, and so you could kind of guess where this was going after a little while. But yeah, the CB radio too. I don't want to say too much here, but I do have some extended relatives who had an issue, two brothers actually, and this was a long, long time ago, this was back in the 60s and 70s, and they used CB radio because at the time, of course, there's no internet, no smartphones, any of that, and so the CB radio was something that they could use to talk to people. Um, yeah, and they were quite expert at all kinds of radios and CB radios and electronics that were available in the day, and so it that helped them keep connected. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit too. Anyway, thank you very much for this, Brad. First time I've heard Red Sovine. I will put a link in the description to the artist channel, so you can go there and subscribe and like and support them. Also, down in the description, a way to bump up your request if you want to get your request much quicker. And don't forget to subscribe here if you have already. Thank you so much. Apart from that, keep listening, keep having fun. It is Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Bye bye for now.